Hi guys, it's Keisha Henry with New Beginning Healing Institute. How are you? Happy Saturday, June 24th. I think it's now 1:20 and it's a Saturday. Yep, and I'm here in the office. How are you doing? I haven't talked to you in such a while. I think the last video I did, I think I was in Greece, right? Touring the Mediterranean and kind of connecting with different parts of history that I was longing to do. And so I've been kind of catching up, to be honest. I've come back and I've been kind of MIA in the last 2 weeks since I've been back, really catching up. I've been gone for a while. So I was catching up with family, catching up with the work, and catching up with the team. And, I came back right into, finalizing and getting ready for our Teen Girls Support Group, which is why I'm here talking to you today. You can perhaps see my background. Today was week 2, session 2, and I'm so blown away by this Teen Girls Group. It keeps evolving, it keeps growing, and I'm excited about that. And I'm just really thankful to be a part of the Teen Girls Support Group. I'm learning so much from our teens. I have teens of my own, teen girls of my own, and so in fact my girls were here last week when we started our first session, and they were helping me to set up, which was such a blessing for me. It was a gift. They helped me to order pizza, that they just helped to set up and everything. And I want to give a quick shout out to my daughters, Kyra and Elizabeth, for helping me last week. So today they kind of ditched me. I was on my own today, but things are pretty smooth. But I want to give you a quick update as to where we are in the group. You know what? The more I work with teens, either in a group setting or individual setting, what I find to be true is the need for development of positive identity, okay? This is a big crisis, if you will. It's a big need for our teens to develop a positive identity, develop an identity. They're not sure, and rightfully so, because during the teenage years, it's a big changing time. They're going through several stages with many changes, so you can understand that it can be very debilitating for them. And then when they have different environments and contexts that they have to negotiate on a daily basis, with family being the primary domain, I find that yes, this is a big need for positive self-identity, the need for distress tolerance, emotional regulation, and just being, And so, as this group is brand new, as it's now just underway, this is our second week. So what we're doing today in our second week is still developing rapport, still developing, communication and trust, really allowing teens to be themselves. And allowing them to be where they are in their development. So week 2, basically still introductions, still learning. They're learning each other. Every session we do a get to know you kind of activity. This week we actually did interviewing each other. The first week we kind of just did, what we call a toss and turn. We tossed each other's name around, and we kind of said something that we felt safe sharing, because that's the big deal in all of our groups, even our women's group, wherein we develop safety. That's a big deal. Even when you look on our pages, our social platforms, whenever we're talking about or sharing or promoting any of our events, one of the biggest thing you will see, we talk about safety. Safety is important, because if you're not feeling safe, then you can't move about. You can't do anything, right? And so so we're still developing safety and trust. We're still developing group norms. I love to see them do that. There, so we have our own set of rules that we must enact in each of our groups, like confidentiality and what that can look like and needs to look like in the group, outside the group. But then we have the teens to kind of create their own norm, which they get to do. One of the feedback that a generalized feedback we get is they're not sure how to be in the world, and so here we give them space to be, so they can create that space and create who they want to be and what they want to be here, and then they get to practice that outside. So if I were to summarize week 1 and week 2, so these 2 weeks, then it's about developing trust, developing safety, having introductions, orientation to each other, with the teens creating their own, group and rules and norms. And as we go along, the thing I like too is that they get to add, and they get to develop this kind of team building. So all throughout the weeks, we're going to continue team building and team building in a very healthy fashion. I'll say this to close off. I'm giving you this update for week 2. One of the things that just continues to reverberate, whether it's in group or individual sessions, I'm finding that with teens, number 1 is the need to develop positive identity. And the second thing that is very, very pronounced for me is wherein teens feel like, when they feel like they're hopeless, when they feel like even within their own families, they don't have a sense of voice. They feel like they don't have a voice. A lot of times as parents, we feel like our voice is the voice and that their voice is so diminished or unimportant or without reason that we don't make room for them. And what I find that when teens are in families, in the domain of a family, when they feel like they're powerless or hopeless, when they come to a group setting and they find other teens having the same experiences, it creates many possibilities for them. And I really, really love that. And that it serves as a reminder for me, not only as a clinician or a therapist, but also as a parent. Yeah, I get to do this in the chair, but hey, I'm in my humanity also. And it reminds me about how I am with my own teens. You cannot teach what you don't practice. And so it serves as a reminder for me. It's very humbling. And I'm so thankful to be able to work with the teens who are in this teen girls support group. And lastly, they believe in giving back. And so now, they're spreading the word to other teens. So this is what happens when you build safety and trust. They feel this sense of mobilization. They can see it and they want to do it. So I'm excited about week 2. So next week, we're going to continue to build safety, to build trust and rapport amongst all of us that are here. What else? We're looking forward to continue now to flesh out what our personalities are, what they think it is, and how that perhaps is showing up in their daily living, maybe at home and all the different contexts that they have to face on a daily basis, and realizing then, what their goals are and what they want to work on. So that's where we are in week 2 of our Teen Girls support group. I'm excited to be back, and I look forward to providing you, week to week updates about the group. And let me just give a quick little piece here about next week's podcast. I'm very excited to talk about next week's podcast. It's about women expressing creativity. I have a very interesting guest from Lagos, Nigeria. I don't want to give too much about it, but I'm really biased about women and girls, and so I just figure I kind of sneak that in there and tell you about that. I'm looking forward to that podcast. You'll see more coming out about that on social media posts. You get to read a little bit more about her bio, so you can anticipate next week's podcast. Anyway, thank you for listening. It was great, talking to you. I look forward to talking to you again. I love giving these updates, and I love talking with you. Thank you so much.